What up, YouTube? This is Daniel Rucker with True Table. Welcome to the table. Today is episode 3 of the 5-piece series that I told you guys that I was going to be bringing this week. Pretty much going over the 5 things I believe all men need in order to be considered a whole man, in order to consider to be great. And you should just attach these characteristics, in my opinion, to your tool set. What it's going to do is going to help you navigate this world of dating in your life independently as well, prior to dating, more effectively. So if you didn't get a chance to catch my broadcast from Monday to Tuesday, and now it being Wednesday, I've already went over being a great communicator. I went over being a historian. And then today I'm going to cover the topic of being a lawyer. Now, I want to reiterate that most of these titles that I'm picking are not to say that you should necessarily have to go to law school, or not to say that you need to be a licensed or certified historian, but there are key outlines of characteristics and practices that, as again, in my opinion, as a man, you should have in your tool set, in your arsenal, in your overall workings when you talk about being what I consider a whole man. Now, a lawyer. Go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and get into the kitchen. We're going to get cooking. What we going to do? Why I believe that you should be a lawyer. Well, fellas, one of the things that you're going to learn, if you have not already learned, is that dealing with women is going to require you to be very, very sharp, very knowledgeable. You're going to have to know how to handle yourself effectively. And one of those key components that I believe will work best for you, on top of being a great communicator, on top of being a historian, and on top of being a lawyer, is that lawyers are known to be scholastic superheroes, in a sense. A lawyer is someone who is well-read, well-versed, disciplined, someone who knows law, someone who is going to be able to not only retain information, but defend their stance on things. And this is what segues me into why I chose the title of lawyer for one of the particular key characteristics that I believe you should be honing in and building as a man. Because when you're going to be dealing with women, there are going to be several times that you're going to have to stand your ground and be able to defend your point of view and be able to give a clear-cut argument or debate of sorts and delivering your point of view. See, women are great at this collectively. They are master manipulators, like straight sensei style manipulators. They're like born this way. And most men, I don't believe, are keen in this particular skill set. There's something that we men have to develop, right? So that's what I'm here for, fellas. I'm here to help you win in the situation that is dating and so on. So back to it. Being a lawyer, it's gonna help you to be able to instruct, navigate, drive, and lead your relationship or your interactions with women a lot better and a lot more effectively. There's gonna come a time or times where she's again gonna test you. And she's not gonna test you necessarily and see how much you can bench or do how many push-ups you can do and all that little BS nonsense stuff. She's coming for your thought process. She's coming from your perspective. See, women like to do things like ask you questions to test what your outlook on something is, to test where your boundaries lie. And as a man, when you start to do things like request a certain level of behavior or response from her or a standard from her, so you're gonna have to be able to do this like a lawyer. What lawyers do is they gather up information, they present their case, they present an argument, opposing argument to the jury, to the judge, in a way that is set out to win the case. If you're looking to win the case, fellas, if you're looking to have your agenda met, if you're looking to have your particular desires follow through and you're dealing with a woman, I encourage you to brush up on your skills. I encourage you to start thinking like a lawyer, conducting yourself, like a lawyer. Because in order to be precise and consistent and relevant, and have a set stance on things, you're going to have to handle her like a lawyer would handle her. See, a lot of these dudes nowadays, or whichever, they try to do things like kiss ass. I don't kiss ass. There's no reason that a man should feel the need to have to pander to a woman, ever, in my honest opinion. I ran into a young man the other night, told me he had 3 sisters. And there was a young lady passing by. Now I'm getting a little way off topic, but I'm going to share this with you guys because you're my people. That's what I appreciate you for checking me out. So I'm going to go ahead and give you, a little glimpse into my interactions, my world. Anyway, so I was out, seen this young man, seen this pretty girl. She was walking by. He tried to get her attention. He's calling everything from beautiful to gorgeous and sweetie and all those little pet names and whatnot. And she completely ignored him. So I walked up to him. I was like, yo, bro, why are you doing that? Like, why are you on the corner singing like you're Keith Sweat? And he was a little younger, so he didn't even know who Keith Sweat was. Telling my age. But anyway, and so he was like, oh man, she was pretty, man. I was trying to get her attention, so on and so forth. I said, well, she ignored you once, just you mad rude. And 2, I was like, why are you complimenting her? Like, she not special. She didn't earn that. Like, she's just a female. He was like, well, I have 3 sisters, so you gotta treat them a certain way. You gotta act a certain way. And I'm like, no, you don't. Like, you need to be yourself. What would have been wrong with just saying, hey, excuse me, trying to get her attention, however, right? So anyway, and I was going off because I was like, I'm sick and tired of these females being disrespectful. Like, this is nonsense. If she comes back, I'm gonna check her for you. He was like, nah, you ain't gotta do that. I said, no, it's my pleasure. I got you. She came back about 2-3 minutes later, and he actually did know her name. Forgive me, her name was Caroline. And so she walking by, I was like, excuse me, Caroline. She stopped and she looked. I said, yo, why didn't you acknowledge my man when he over here tried to get your attention? What's wrong with you? You deaf? You hard of hearing? And she was like, no. And she came on over. I said, I think you owe him an apology. She apologized anyway. Their interaction went well. But the point is, I'm saying from this standpoint is that I stood on my case. I stood on my ground. I presented an argument. I presented a position. And I was prepared to defend that position. Had it been an exchange, if she had something more to say or the response didn't go that way, I stay prepared. I stay cocked and ready. And that's what I want for my dudes. That's what I want for men. I want men to be better prepared in these exchanges and situations that are not only your life, but in these dealings when you're dealing with women, when you're dealing with females. Because fellas, see, if you don't think that you're under attack, you're under attack. The moment that you start interacting with a female, her job is to convert you into the man she wants you to be. Not the man you necessarily are. The man she wants you to be. They're not going to tell you this. I'm telling you this. It's the truth. Your job is to be as solid, as put together, as progressive as you deem necessary. And then in the event that you need to defend your position on your logic, your outlook, your beliefs, your viewpoint, you need to have the skill set and the mindset like a lawyer. This is the only way that I believe you're going to be the most effective. On top of the other skill sets like being a great communicator and being a historian. See, when you're combining these things, you're a well-rounded individual. You're a well-rounded man. She can't come for you with some BS and throw you some nonsense to get you off your focal point or your focus. Your steady focus. That laser focus. So that's what I wanted to touch on today. I always encourage my followers, my listeners, my True Table family to educate oneself, to be pushing oneself to be best version of yourself, practicing the things that are necessary to become a whole person, a whole man, solid, flowing through all aspects of your gift, your perspective, your skills, and things of that nature, because it's going to do nothing but benefit you. And I'm all about progress and perspective, growth. That's what I'm here for. So I just wanted to, again, to come in with this series this week, ladies. It's for my men. Like I said, feel free to go ahead and listen as well. I appreciate the attention. If you have a guy in your life or a young man in your life, a son, a nephew, a cousin that you feel can benefit from my information, go ahead and share, the video. And on that point, go ahead and like my video. I appreciate it. For those who continue to rock with me and support me, I do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to continue to bring this content on a regular basis because it's necessary. So that's all I have for you guys today. I, again, appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out with me for these last 11 minutes or so. And tomorrow, we're going to be going over the professor component. So far, I've covered the great communicator, the historian, a lawyer, and a professor. You guys tune in tomorrow. Thank you.